Hello, this is Robin from Simple Food, Simple Life. Stick around because I'm going to show you how to make turkey meatballs. You're going to think Thanksgiving is already here. Hey, thanks for sticking with me on this. I'm going to show you what ingredients we're going to use today for our turkey meatballs. Now, the one thing I have, which is the most important thing, is a pound of ground turkey. Now, this particular turkey is the store brand. It was on sale, 2 1-pound packages for $4, so this is a $2 package of ground turkey. Pretty reasonable, I think. And I've got a box of stuffing mix. Now, you can use any stuffing mix you like. This is just simply my preference, but whatever you like. And I chose the turkey because I want to impart those Thanksgiving flavors on this stuffing mix, or on my turkey meatballs. Now, the stuffing mix is going to be our binder, our filler, along with an egg. I might need 2 eggs, it depends, but I do have 1 egg ready to go. And I have some parsley because I like the look of parsley. I'm not adding any other seasonings because this stuffing mix is going to have everything I need. And what I have here, I've got a jar of chicken broth. This is my homemade chicken broth. I had several jars in the freezer, so I thawed this out yesterday so I can use it. And I have some cornstarch, okay? And as we go along, I'll show you how to use this. So, okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to open up this turkey, and I'm going to get it going in my bowl here. That's pretty important. Now, one thing you want to be sure of when you're handling any kind of meat or poultry, I almost said upholstery. You want to be sure and just make sure that you wash your hands and that your utensils, like these scissors, are not used for anything else until they are washed properly, right? So, that was pretty easy. I'm going to put my scissors away. And so, hang on, I'm going to wash my hands real quick and we'll get on with the next process. Washing your hands, pretty important. Or, as Julia Child used to say, with your immaculately clean hands. So, I'm going to just break this up a little bit. And, you know, you can use whatever ground turkey you like. It's entirely up to you, okay? So, got that done. Now I'm going to open up my stuffing mix here, and it just comes in a package like that. I almost bought the store brand of stuffing mix. It was actually a little bit cheaper. This was $1.98, I think. But I like this, and the store brand didn't have the turkey flavor and seasonings in there, so I decided that I was going to go ahead and just use my favorite. So hang on here. Let me open this up. Grab my other scissors. There we go. Alright. Now you can see what that looks like. Those are pretty small, right? So I'm going to add those in, and this already has the seasoning in it. See there? See how all that seasoning is in there? Oh, it smells delicious. So, get rid of that. Now, I'm just going to kind of smush this up in there a little bit before I put my egg in. And like I said, I might need to have another egg. That's fine. Do it if I want to. Because that's a lot of stuffing. do the egg. And I think, my eyeballs tell me, I'm probably going to need another egg. So, it depends on what your, how much you're making. Now, if you're making half this amount, then you don't need this whole amount, right? Right. Okay. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to use my immaculately clean hands, and I'm going to smush this all together. Now, after this is mixed up, now I know this grosses some of you out. If you want to use a glove, that's fine. I'm not squeamish about things like this, right? So, I'm going to get this all mixed up together. And you know what? You can all use a food processor, I reckon, if you want to. I don't have a food processor. I just have my handy-dandy hands. So that's what I'm going to use. Now, oh, this smells good because of that stuffing. Now, how easy has this been so far for you, right? It's been really, really easy. Now, after I get this mixed up, I'm almost there. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for about, 15 minutes. I think I'll set my timer for 15 minutes. And I'm going to let this get familiar with each other. And another thing, I want to soften up the stuffing mix, right? Okay. So there we go. I'm going to pop it in the refrigerator. And then when I take it out, we will be right back and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay, the timer went off and I put it on 15 minutes and that's what it looks like coming out of the refrigerator. So you can see that it's really kind of had a chance to soften up a little bit. The stuffing has had a chance to soften up a little bit. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, now what I have here is I've got my cast iron skillet. I'm going to pan fry these. You can put them in the oven. That's fine, but I'm going to pan fry these because it's just more convenient for me at this time, right? Okay, but you can do whatever you want to do. That's fine. So I'm going to turn my burner on here, and I'm going to put it at about, medium high, and then I'm going to use this particular ice cream scoop because it's a little bit smaller. I'm going to use that to make my meatballs. So, and then as I make them, I can put them in my skillet, and all I have in my skillet is just a little bit of oil, just vegetable oil. If I need to add more, I will. And one thing too, I forgot about, I'm going to add some mushrooms to the gravy, and this is about 5 just plain white button mushrooms. And I'm going to add these to the gravy, but I'll show you what we're going to do with that when we get to it. Now, this is optional. You don't have to put it in there, but okay, why not? All right. So I'm going to put these aside, and I'm going to get my meatballs made. Now, see how that looks? That's all I'm doing, and the only reason I'm using that is because I would like for my meatballs to be uniform. See? That's all. It just makes it nice to have, they just look nice, I think, when they're more uniform. And, you know, sometimes we, and you just roll them like that. It's good sometimes if things look that way, you know, nice and uniform, and actually it looks as though you took a little bit of care with it, right? Now, just roll it in your hands like that. No big deal. I'm going to get several made here before I put them in my skillet, and I'm just setting them aside in my big bowl. Remember what I tell you, when in doubt, go big. Use that big, big bowl. Okay? So I think you're going to be surprised at how many meatballs you're going to get out of this pound of ground turkey. Right? Right. Okay. So I think I've got enough to just get them started here. Make sure my burner is right. And off we go. Now, put them in there. What have I got made so far? I've got 5 of them, 6 of them made. And I'm just going to continue to make my meatballs and add them to my pan as I go. And that enables me to keep an eye out on my meatballs that are already in the pan, right? And another thing, when you're doing these, you don't want to crowd them. You want to give them some space. Because if they get crowded, they'll get soft and you end up steaming them instead of browning them. And then they start to fall apart. We don't want that, do we? So, you know, it really is not complicated. It's just, there's just a few things when you're cooking, and especially if you're just learning, and any old pro cook around the house will tell you, you learn as you go. I have had many failures in the kitchen, and as anybody can tell you they have, but you know what? That's okay. That's how we do. We learn as we go. We learn by our mistakes, and that's how it is. That's okay. No big deal. But it's the joy of cooking, isn't it? Don't you just love? I love getting in the kitchen. I love making new things. Now, I think I probably got enough in there. Maybe we can go one more. You know, the stuffing in this turkey smells really, really, really good. Okay, let me wash my hands real quick so that I can get my utensils that I'm going to make, and I need to put a little more oil in here too. So let me wash my hands real quick, and I will be right back. And we're going to go on with this. Now don't leave me. I like having company in the kitchen. Don't you? I do. I enjoy it. Alright, now then, let's go. Now, let me just set this aside a little bit, and I want to make sure that these have enough oil. Put a little bit more oil in there. Not much. And you can add as you go. Because what we're doing, our objective is to brown these, okay? And so, but we don't want them to stick, do we? No, we don't. I'm going to grab my pot holder here. We want them to be nice and brown. Well, let's take a look. Well, see, they're getting there. I'm going to turn my burner down a little bit. I'll turn them over. And now, this is what we're going to do. These are not, once these are brown, but not done, keep in mind, they're not going to be completely cooked through. But once these are brown the way I want them, I'm going to remove them from the pan, and I'm going to continue to use the pan. We're going to use the same pan. And then I'm going to proceed with my gravy. And then we're going to finish cooking them in our beautiful, beautiful gravy. Can you see that? See how good it's looking there? There you go. I don't want you to miss out. Now, I think there's plenty in here right now. I'm going to do these. I'm going to brown these off. And I'm going to make the rest of these into meatballs. And then I'm going to bring you back, because you don't need to watch paint dry, right? I'm going to bring you back, and we're going to finish these off and I'll show you the next step. Now listen, while you're waiting for these, like, subscribe, and share. And don't forget to subscribe, okay? And make sure you click that little bell. And at the end of the video, I'll put a little button that you can click and subscribe very, very easily. Or do it right now. You know, there's no time like the present. And make sure you click the little bell so that you can get notified every time I post a new video. And make sure you share because other people need to know this stuff too, you know. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. We've got all of the meatballs browned. Now, if you look close, you can see they are not done cooking. They are still raw. But all we're looking for is some browning. That's all we're looking for here. That's all we want to do. By browning them, we seal them up a little bit and so that we can finish the cooking process, okay? Okay, now then. Now, what I have here, I have a little bit of butter. And with this butter, I'm going to simply add my tablespoon of butter into the pan that I've been using. And into that, I'm going to add these mushrooms. Now my mushrooms have been washed and sliced, and I have my heat turned off, believe it or not, because my pan was pretty hot. And on these mushrooms, because it helps the cooking process, I'm going to throw some salt on there. You can use whatever salt you want. I'm just using table salt. So you can do whatever you want with it. Now, this is going to be the base of our gravy, okay? Now, I'm going to add a little pepper to this too. Okay? So we're just going to turn my heat back on and put it on very low because I don't want these to burn. I just simply want to brown them and caramelize them just a little bit, okay? Okay, so, and these are going to add really, really good flavor to our gravy, our sauce that we're going to finish cooking our meatballs in. The kitchen smells really, really good. I'm so appreciative of all of you that take the time to watch my videos. And all of you who subscribe, I'm so thrilled to have you join me in this process. I really, really am. Okay, here you go. This is my mushrooms are browning off. I have a little butter in there. That makes it nice. Now what I put in here, I put 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Let me get a little water in there. I'm going to make a little slurry. Don't you love all my fancy schmancy terms? Got my water going there. I mean my slurry going. Now that seems a little thin. That's all right. I don't care. I may use it all. I may not use it all. It's still going to thicken up my my gravy. There we go. Looking good. I'm going to taste this. Plenty salty enough. All right, now I'm going to turn my heat up just a little bit because I'm going to add my chicken broth. Now, let's see, just out of curiosity, how much chicken broth do I have in there? I think I've probably got maybe 3 cups. Oh my dog is barking. Oh, look at there. I have 2 cups and a little bit more, about 2 1/4. Okay. There we go. There we go. Putting that in. We'll bring that up to a boil. Well, at a simmer actually, because I'm going to add my parsley flakes. Why? Because it makes things look pretty. Okay. Get that stirred up there. Smells really, really, really good. Okay. Now, I'm going to stir in my, as I get this out of here, I'm going to stir in my cornstarch mixture. I almost forgot what it was. Now don't get too messy, woman, because you're just slopping it all over the place. Okay, now I have my heat turned up, and I'm going to stir this until it starts to thicken up a little bit. Now, I don't care if it's not horribly thick, because the meatballs, the filling in the meatball is going to emit some starch in the water or in the broth, and it's going to thicken up the sauce as well. Right? Right. That's always good to know, because sometimes what happens is your gravy or your sauce gets thicker and you cooked something in it that's starchy, and then you wonder why it got thicker. Well, now we know. See, it's already starting to thicken up just a little bit. I'm going to taste this. Good. It's good. And also, the seasoning in the meatballs are going to help to season this gravy too. Now, you don't have to use homemade broth. If you don't have homemade broth, use canned broth. Use turkey broth, chicken broth. That's fine. No problem whatsoever. It's thickening up a little bit. Cook it up with just a little. And I've turned my heat down a little bit. And just because I can, and it adds to the richness, I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to whisk that into my sauce here. This is going to become the gravy. Now then, to serve with this meal, you can serve mashed potatoes. Yum. You can make an extra box of stuffing to have on the side. That would be good. You can make your vegetable, whatever it is, green beans, whatever you want. You can make that in. Make that as a side dish for your meal. You can actually spruce this up absolutely as much as you want to. And listen, if you're busy, don't be afraid to use instant mashed potatoes. If you have a favorite instant mashed potatoes, use them. It's no big deal. Okay, now, in go the luscious turkey meatballs. Carefully put those in so I don't slop and burn myself. You can see how those are looking pretty good, right? Alright, now that we've got these going, I'm going to turn the heat down to a simmer, and I'm just going to let these cook. Now, you have to expect that these are going to puff up a little bit, okay? But that's all right. Let me turn mine down. I'm turning this burner down to low. I'm going to get a lid, and I'm going to pop a lid on there. And that's one reason why I want to keep it low. And then when they're done, we'll come back and I'll show you what we've got. Okay, we're back. Now, like I told you, I was going to put a lid on these. Now, I want you to see how really, really good these look. Now, these have been cooking. You see, I've got a pan full, and they have kind of swelled up just a little bit. But I want you to see what they look like. Now, this is how you tell if your meatballs are done. You just press on them with a fork. If they feel solid, you see, can you see how solid these are? When they feel solid or firm, that means they're done. You can rest assured they are done, okay? All right, so now I'm going to taste one of these. I know, it's a tough job. It is a tough job, but you know what? Somebody's got to do this. I'm going to turn my heat off because I know they're done. And I want you to see how thick the gravy is. Some people call it gravy. Some people call it, I call it gravy. I'm a gravy girl, okay? So, let's take one of these out. See if I can find, here, this one looks good, a small one. And I'm going to just put it in this dish. I'm going to give it a taste and see how good it is. I want to taste them. You know, that's the thing with doing raw meat, like meatballs or meatloaf. If you, unless you're going to cook up a little piece of it, you can't really tell what it is. So you just kind of have to judge for yourself, right? Okay, so there's the meatball. Let's cut into that. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Now, that's what it looks like on the inside. See how done that is? Smells really, really good. Now, I'm going to take this bite right here. Okay, let me blow this off a little bit because I don't want to burn myself. Smells good. Oh. This tastes like Thanksgiving. And these are perfectly salty too. Perfectly, or I want to say seasoned. Because that stuffing mix has all the seasoning we want. I didn't put salt or pepper or anything in there. I didn't put any extra sage or poultry seasoning or anything. It just tastes perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, I'm going to put a little gravy in there because I want to taste that and grab a spoon. And one thing I want you to know too, don't be afraid to make this into a meatloaf. You can turn it into a turkey loaf if you want to. You don't have to do meatballs. If you're in a hurry and you don't want to mess with meatballs, turn it into a turkey meatloaf. Okay? All right. I'm going to taste this. Good. It's really, really, really tasty. So good. I hope that you will give these a try because I think you are absolutely going to love them. Okay? And look at that. Your meatballs are ready. Your gravy is ready. All you need is some mashed potatoes, an extra pan of stuffing, and some green beans or your favorite vegetable, and you're good to go. You got dinner. Now, these cooked in here on very, very low with the lid for about 20 to 25 minutes or so, okay? And remember how you test them. If they're firm, they're done. Okay? All right, listen, I hope you give this a try. I love you guys so much, and I'm so, so thankful that you have joined me today. I really, really appreciate it. You've been real good company in the kitchen. I'm going to get a closer look here so that you can see what I'm looking at right there. It is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, I love you. And I'll see you next time. And you just remember that little is much when God is in it. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Thank you for watching Simple Food, Simple Life. Please like, subscribe, and share.